If you need truth, this is the place for you. Don't need to complicate it. It's best to keep it basic. Open the book, the word is self-approved. He's Alpha and Omega, the answer since the early ages. What you should do is learn about the greatest. Just so you know, our door is always open. Let's study together instead of debating. Share our differences. Let love heal all that's broken.
Mr. Jack, I'm going to ask you to help me with for Clubhouse at this moment. I'm really not. And so I don't know how much longer we're going to be on Clubhouse. This is just too much frustration for me. Could you please moderate those who need to be moderators? I'll help a little bit. This whole thing has me all discombobulated. I do not care for whatever it is Clubhouse is doing. And
Shalom, Apostle. I've got it.
thank you, dear heart. Yeah. Thank you, beloved. Yahweh be praised. All right. Well, welcome to the Proceeding Word, everyone. So glad to have you on with us today. It's a wonderful day to be saved. You are also in the day that we know is Chag Matzot, the 15th day of Nisan. And for those of you who have celebrated and have been and are compliant to the instructions of Chag Matzot, I pray Yahweh's complete, total, and absolute blessings over your lives. You are in store for something deep. And when Yahweh is done with you, there is nothing you will not know about how he loves you. He loves you so much. I promise you he does. And I'm just so excited for y'all. All right, those of you on Facebook, Clubhouse, those of you on YouTube, we're here together today to study the writ of Yahweh, who is our Elohim. It is a time that we enjoy most expeditiously. Most excitedly. We just love doing it and appreciate it. It's a time. Can I tell y'all something? And I don't want this to be stolen by anybody. I'm going to have to put a trademark on this. And I need y'all to go ahead, if you're on Clubhouse with me, make this a quote. Go ahead and write the word quote now before I do it, so I don't have to deal with it later. I want to make sure that we all understand that there are a lot of people talking Christian, talking kingdom. I mean, a lot of people talking kingdom. And kingdom is a new buzzword now to bring people together. Don't let this be something that brings you together for the sake of qualifying or quantifying your church or quantifying your room or quantifying your YouTube space. You want to make it your business. If you're going to do kingdom, you need to understand what kingdom is. Kingdom is not a game. Kingdom is not some cute little church event. All right. Kingdom literally is, in fact, a lifestyle. And what do we mean by that? Kingdom is a lifestyle. I'm still sitting in the studio, y'all, because it's Sabbath. I didn't want to go, home and all of that. So I'm still here at the studio for the day of Shabbat, and which would be the equivalent of the temple, if we're going to put it like that. So you guys can understand where I'm at, what I'm doing, because it's a high holy day. You can't work today. You can't do your own thing today. You shouldn't be at school today. You shouldn't be at work today. But people do whatever they want to do. I can't tell nobody what to do. All I know is what Yahweh said to do. My job is to tell you the instructions. Again, leading to my point about the proceeding word. You know what? Maybe I should pray before I say this, because I don't want anybody to catch in the wrong spirit what I'm going to say. Is that all right? Father, we come before you in the mighty name of Yeshua HaMashiach. We bless, love, adore, magnify, and exalt you for who you are. Thank you for this is the day, Yahweh, you have made. It is our will to rejoice and literally be glad in it. We are so excited to be saved today, so honored to be in your grace today, so empowered to be here. The blessings that flow from this life and expanse, I pray you, Elohim, Help us to understand it, how to quantify it, how to qualify it, how to yield it, how to wield it. All of it is you, and I feel your presence in the earthen realm this hour to visit them who love you. And each of us who have complied with your instructions, made this day, kept our feasts, kept our honor of presenting our bodies as living sacrifices and our resources as living sacrifices. Father, we worry not about guilt or shame. We just worry about our compliance with you. That is what makes us a good and faithful servant. We come together. We have come into Yah's house. We've gathered in your name, Yahweh, to worship you. And we have come into Yah's house. We've gathered in Yah's name to worship him. Yahweh, we have come into this house. We've gathered in your name to worship Yah, our Lord. Let us worship him. Worship Yah, our Lord. Let us worship Yahweh, worship Yahweh, our Lord. Let us worship him. We worship Yahweh, our Lord. Hallelujah, thine the glory, Yahweh. Hallelujah, Yahweh, amen. Hallelujah, Yah, yours is the glory. Revive us again. See, that's why we've come into this house. That's why we've come into this time. That's why this is the day Yahweh has made. Every song you've ever sung, if it's not associated to a time that he has instructed, then we sing the song technically in vain. Though it has a good catch, it gives us a good emotion, it makes us move a certain way. It has a meaning that is contrary from his intention. This is why we come into his house. This is why I was glad when they said unto me, let us go into the house of Yahweh our Elohim. Your church building is not actually his house. It's coming into his times, his seasons, his days. Can I get anybody to proclaim, come off microphone and proclaim Pesach? Write it in the scrolls, write it in the tabs. Pesach. And this is why we come into Pesach. This is why we come into the time of Shavuot, Sukkah, and Pesach, because it's to worship him. It's to obey him. It's to completely honor his rehearsals. And Zion, I really am at a point in life where I told you earlier, I no longer care. I no longer care to shed light in dark places. You know, it sounds weird, but we would stop shedding light in dark places for fear of the backlash and the pushback and the antagonism and the research into who you were and what you did and where you come from and how you shouldn't be trusted. Now, all that goes along with telling truth. Whenever you tell truth, we evil is always going to try to do everything it can to stop you, make you choke back your words, make people not credit you, discredit you, whatever it is, but I really no longer care. You know, because we sang another song within Christendom and didn't understand it. You know, y'all called it Ray Charles, but it wasn't Ray Charles. It was actually a charge to keep I have, and Elohim to glorify. So what I want us to grasp and really understand is this, that Yahweh has given us a charge to keep, and we have him as Elohim to glorify. So in everything that we do, we need to understand why we do it. And today, though this is the proceeding word, and I guess Clubhouse is just giving me a confirmation. I think that's my key, that we leave in Clubhouse. So it was a pleasure meeting all y'all over there, but I'm going back to what I know and what we've done. All my rooms got shut down, so I don't know where none of the rooms are. Proceeding word is off. I don't know how it got cut off and all of that goes with that, but we're going to just keep it moving. But at end of day, I want you to realize, here's the quote. Now y'all make the quote. All of those who are helping me and responsible for helping me with quotes and putting up these quotes and memes and tiles and t-shirts and cups. I want y'all to get this quote. I want to make sure you get it clearly. Pesach is not a church event. Pesach is a kingdom of Elohim mandate. It is a kingdom of Elohim meal time. It is a kingdom of Elohim roll call. It is a kingdom of Elohim lifestyle. I'm going to say it again. The feasts of Yahweh are not church events to build your status, to build your culture. The meals and the feast days of Yahweh, not the holidays of man, not the holidays of Judaism, not the holidays of whatever else you religiously do. The feast times, the Moedim of Elohim, Pesach, is not a church event that you sell tickets to, that you invite strangers into. It is a kingdom of Elohim mandate for its citizen. It is a roll call. It is a meal call. You know how they used to do back on TV, and they would have the people out in the field working, and the children and the family would be out in the field doing whatever their chores were. And then mama would come out at mealtime and ring that bell, ring, 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 ring. And everybody knew that bell was dinner time. And you rushed back and got washed and rushed back and got your plate and rushed back and got to that table and sat down and waited for the matriarch or the patriarch of the house to pray over the provisions, give God Elohim thanks, and then sit down and chat it up amongst them that you are with. Talk about whose family, who's getting better, who's getting good grades, who's got a business plan, who's about to leave the coop, who's about to go to college, who's playing basketball, who's doing this, who's doing that, who's doing the other. You're sitting around a dinner table. It's a mandatory conversation for our family to be one. The Moedims, Pesach, Shavuot, Sukkah are not church events. They are lifestyle. They are a mandated time of fellowship. It's a mandate of Elohim. And here's the catch. It's a kingdom mandate, not a church event. Oh, you coming to Pesach? Oh, you coming to Shavuot? Oh, you coming to Mother's Day? Oh, you coming to the Christmas program? Oh, you coming to the pastor's appreciation? Oh, you coming to the church anniversary? Oh, you coming to the evangelism who's coming in from next week? This is not a church event. You are in a kingdom mandate. This is not something you talk about because you heard about it online. This is something you either are in or you are out of. It is a lifestyle. It is a mandate for kingdom lifestyle. You can't be kingdom and not keep the mandate. Make that another quote. I'm feeling spicy today. I no longer care about shedding light into dark places any longer. I didn't already, but I got the persona. I do what I do. You can't chump me and all that. I'm good with all of that. But I need you to understand, you cannot claim kingdom and not keep kingdom mandate. Otherwise, you're just churching yet again. Oh, y'all can talk back to me today, because I'm telling you, we might be here a little minutes. We are in Pesach. We are in.
Oh, no, that's good, Apostle. Keep it going. Say it louder.
Are y'all understanding that? You can't talk kingdom and then not keep kingdom mandate. You're not kingdom. I don't give two doves flying off how much gathering of the people you do under the auspice of talking about the kingdom. Dear friend of mine, gone on to be with Elohim, had many conversations. A lot of people read his books. I know the man before he passed on, Miles Monroe. So y'all heard kingdom from a book, and you heard kingdom from a YouTube clip you viewed. I sat with this man across from a table. He spit on me, I spit on him. He breathed on me, I breathed on him. And we chatted about all these things kingdom. He kept bringing the natural element of kingdom, because he himself from Bahamas was under some form of a monarchy who would reach into their particular island before they can get themselves free. And he taught what kingdom looks like. And then he made the parallel of the natural kingdom that the UK deal with into how they affect all of the colonies that they are over. And he gave you a parallel of what the kingdom of Elohim was all about. So for those of you who are going to sit, rant, and rave about how well and great and all this, you understand kingdom because you read Miles's book. I won't even disrespect him in his and posthumously. I'm going to say Dr. Miles Monroe, a very good associate of mine. Personally know. Paid money to have his flight and his fuel bring his jet this way so we could have conversations with people in my region. This ain't a book I'm talking about. This ain't a YouTube clip I'm talking about. Great man. But because you read his book and you understand kingdom excerpts that you are right now taking and trying to apply to your life, y'all miss me when you tell me you teaching kingdom and you ain't kept a feast. Now the prophet in me is coming out. Miss me with you kingdom and you ain't kept his feast. You don't keep his Shabbat. So again, you want to be careful of talking how much kingdom you know and how much kingdom you around here spreading, and you don't do it yourself. Until you do kingdom, keep kingdom out your mouth. Because you make Elohim look bad. Well, matter of fact, you make yourself look bad. Because anybody who knows Elohim knows, well, that ain't kingdom. You're perpetrating a fraud. Check me on it, please. So all this kingdom chatter, all this kingdom talk, well, Apostle, we just learning. If you just learning, then do it. And until you do it, don't proclaim to be it, because you're not doing it. Therefore, you're not it. Don't talk about it. Be about it. Oh, y'all not going to, did I shut the room down? They left again. Everybody left already.
No, you talking shit, be right. I'm here for it, Apostle.
Anybody here for this smoke? If y'all here for the smoke, come off mic right now. Say, I'm here for the smoke.
I'm here. I'm loving the truth. Bring the smoke, Apostle.
Light it up, Apostle.
Stop talking about you kingdom and you ain't kept a feast. You ain't kept a Shabbat. You ain't read Torah. You ain't kingdom. You should be. You have the potential to be. You have you have all you need to be kingdom. That's like saying you sitting in your garage, I'm in the house, right? And because you in the house, well, you were human when you in the house, and the house is connected to the garage. But if the human that's in the house goes out into the garage and then thinks that it's a car because it's in the garage, something is mentally wrong with you. There is a disconnection in your understanding of these presentations. Kingdom is kingdom. It's not a postcard. It's not a trinket. It's not a t-shirt. Black Lives Matter to me is not a t-shirt. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter is not a t-shirt to me. It's my body. It's my skin tone. Kingdom is not my robe that I wear, my collar that I put on. Kingdom is not my rope and cross under my pec that they would wear. That's not kingdom. That's not salvation. Salvation and kingdom are your life and your style. And you will mess up in the kingdom. You will get a ticket in the kingdom. You will get a fine in the kingdom. But kingdom is citizenship, not somebody's talking about it. Kingdom is being about it. And if you're not going to be about it, stop associating kingdom. Unless you want to be very clear and identify, well, this is my kingdom. Then you and I cool. But do not claim the kingdom of God, the kingdom of heaven, the kingdom of Elohim, and you're not doing kingdom governance. You ain't kingdom. That's church. That's a human in the garage calling himself a car.
That's deep.
Ooh-wee.
We're listening.
So I want y'all to understand, if you're going to say you kingdom and you're trying to be about this life, then please be about it. You're going to make mistakes, fine, but you being about it. Don't write about it and not understand. And don't write about it and try to write a book on it unless you're going to identify. Just if you want to write kingdom, there are many kingdoms in this world, but don't you dare connect Elohim's name to it. Don't you dare connect the kingdom of heaven to it. Don't you dare connect the kingdom of our Savior to it if you're not going to keep the kingdom's edict. You ain't kingdom. You somebody driving by on the highway talking about, oh, look at that sign. That's kingdom over there. And then you go back home wherever you come from and say, see, y'all, I went to kingdom. I go to kingdom all the time. No, you passed by kingdom on the highway. You passed by it on the highway. You saw the sign. It looked good. That's all you did. You never went in, or you paid the toll to go through. You might have stopped by Main Street. You might have picked up a meal at Main Street. You might have picked up a meal at a restaurant called Daraj Kingdom Ministries or the other restaurant, VWJ Ministries, while you was on Kingdom Drive. But you ain't living here. You ain't bought no real estate here. Don't claim to be from here. We ain't with that. Don't be out there perpetrating a fraud about what we live over here, and you're going to try to carry it over there to where you are and make a different version or proclaim or claim that you got stake and citizenship over here. Keep on driving down the highway. Or come in and move in. See, that's what Yahweh needs you. You're either going to be here or you're not. You're either in or you're out. You're either up or you're down. It's the end of the day. And it doesn't mean you won't make mistakes. It doesn't mean you won't have proclivities and propensities you still have to manage. But do not claim kingdom, propagate kingdom, put kingdom on your marquee, make all this stuff about kingdom, wear a kingdom t-shirt, got a kingdom hat, wearing kingdom shoes, and got a kingdom ring on, and all the imagery of the kingdom that you saw from the road up the street past the toll, and tell everybody you live in there because you dress like it. Be about it or kick rocks up the road. At the end of the day, kingdom is a mandate. So Pesach, Chag Matzot, Chag Bikurim, Yom Bikurim, Yom Teruah, Yom Kippur, Chag Sukkah, Chag Shavuot. All of these are kingdom mandates, not church events. You don't sell raffle tickets to this. You don't invite people to come and say, hey, see how many people you can bring this week. This is not Friends and Family Day. This is Family Day and friends of this faith. And you can't be a friend if you in kingdom. You kingdom, you family. This ain't Friends and Family Day in the church events. You can't stand up in this particular event and say, we bless you once, we bless you twice, we bless you all in the name of Jesus Christ. You can't do that in the kingdom. Because in the kingdom, you come to read Torah. You sit down and you read, eat Torah. That's it. You do, you comply, you worship. Now you sing. We have come into this house, his day, his time, his meal. We've gathered in Yah's name to worship him. Worship means to obey him. That means I come into kingdom. I come into Shavuot. I come into Shabbat. I come into Sukkah. I come into Pesach to get instructions for the next season. And then I obey those instructions. Somebody shout, and I mean it, shout. 1, 2, 3. That's worship. 1, 2, 3.
That's worship. That's worship.
That's kingdom.
Right.
Kingdom is the compliance to his instructions. That's what kingdom is. So today on the proceeding word, why is that important? Because on the proceeding word, our job is to obey the word that proceed out of the mouth of Yahweh or Elohim. Pesach is not a church event, y'all. It's a kingdom mandate. Watch this. It's a kingdom of Elohim roll call. How many of y'all gonna say I'm present? Say I'm present. Somebody say present. Present, Yahweh. Oh, present Yahweh. Present Yahweh. Present. Present. Present Yahweh. Y'all know what would happen when you go to your mom's house at the Thanksgiving, the holiday called Thanksgiving, and when you get to your mom's house or your grandmom's house or your favorite auntie or which auntie or mom or grandmom cooked the best, and everybody would come in, and you know how you coming in bringing maybe a bottle of wine for the family or some Kool-Aid or some sodas, which I don't believe anybody should drink sodas, but you know, and when you come in and you like, hey grandma, hey grandpa, hey mom, hey dad, you come in, you hug them, right? And you taking off your jacket because it's usually winter, it's a little breezy, it's like fall, and you're taking off your jacket, take off your hat, your scarf, you put it down on the area that it's designed for, get your shoes off, put them by the door, and then you go rattle the pots. You got, boy, get out my kitchen. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. But I just want to see what you're cooking. See, that's what this day is. You come in and say, Daddy, I'm here. Yahweh, I'm here. What you cooking? What's in the pot? What we eating? What's going on? Somebody shout the proceeding word. Does this make sense to anybody but me? I'm just tired of hearing kingdom. I'm tired of hearing kingdom, 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 and ain't nobody showed up to the meeting.
Wow. Not Paul. Whoops. Come on. Tell them, Apostle. Tell them.
I'm tired of seeing marquees. I'm tired of seeing YouTubes. I'm tired of seeing Facebook. I'm tired of seeing IGs and kingdom. This is the kingdom life, and you ain't showed up. I ain't seen you near meeting.
Not near. Who you with?
It is a who you with. Because kingdom is not church. But inside the church, kingdom is taught. But inside the church, though it's taught, it's not embraced. It's just a cute tool to put in my purse and carry it out as a clout card amongst others who too are in that realm. Listen, be about it. Stop talking about it. Because then you're a liar. Because if you're going to talk about it like you understand it, you got the t-shirt on, you got the ring on, you got the shoes on, you got the latest little piece of jewelry from it on, you got the quotes all on, you got the cup and the teacup on, You didn't change your phone email address. You didn't change your phone greeting system. Praise the Lord. This is the kingdom. We're in the kingdom of God. We bless you in the kingdom. You doing all that on your phone, like, shalom. May God be with you today. My name. Just leave a message on the answering service, and I'll get back to you. All of that. None of that's kingdom. It's kingdom merchandising. Kingdom is a lifestyle. We don't brag about this. We be about this. Oh, make that a quote. Kingdom is a lifestyle. We don't brag about it. We be about it. Y'all like that? That gonna work? That just came down fresh out of heaven. That was like fire.
That's fresh. That's a t-shirt.
That's a t-shirt. Make it mine. Somebody, whoever doing my t-shirt cataloging, because I was out in the streets yesterday. I promise you, it got me a little upset. I was down here, Minister Walker. I was down here, and it was a minister that I know. I didn't know him at first. I had who I was riding with pointed out, said, "Did you see that shirt?" I said, "Okay, what's wrong with the shirt?" I'm getting gas. They was like, "You see that shirt?" I said, "Yeah." And I said, "Okay, well, let me see it. When I pull up, I'll see it better." This thing said, anybody been through marriage counseling with me? Y'all been through marriage counseling with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I see on the back of this shirt, somebody who looks familiar, I can't identify. On the back of this shirt, I think they came through counseling with me, right? On the back of this shirt, yeah, real talk. On the back of this shirt, it says, "Into me you see." They broke it, intimacy, and then they broke it down into all the ways to pronounce it. "Into me you see," right? Making it the acronym we've made, and all the scriptures I use for it. And I'm like, nonetheless, the message is being preached, but I'm like, I didn't want to stop the person. I'm like, and then it hit me later on who it was and what ministry I know him from and which element, because they did not get married. I broke up their counseling session because they were not prepared to marry each other. And it was at the point of intimacy when we broke down one of the bullet points of intimacy, and they realized they were not going to be transparent. So I'm glad apparently he got the message, but to see stuff that I know I taught you on your t-shirt on your back, I was like, at first I'm like, little thief and joker. And I'm like, you know what? No, the Messiah, the message is getting out there. Into me you see, and it broke down all the passages that I had. I knew that was my syllabus on that man's shirt. Somebody say, be about the kingdom. Don't talk about it.
Be about the kingdom. Be about the kingdom. Don't talk about it. Be about it.
So today we want to make sure we get this stuff straight. I want y'all to understand the feast of Chag Matzot. Behind me, if you're watching on YouTube or you're watching on Facebook, you'll see the board that we were using right here in the studio last night for our teaching of the Chag Matzot service. And for those of you who've not gotten your lamb in, again, don't be talking, "Oh, eat a king, the king." You ain't got your lamb in. That's not worship. Get your lamb in. Get your compliance complete. You're not kingdom if you don't comply. Does that make sense? And we want to run around. You know what gets me now? Can I pull a George Washington here? I cannot tell a lie. I really can't tell a lie right now. I'm really so that's right, Blessed. Simone Blessed says compliance is everything. Evie Ray says, "I am compliant." Put her hands up. Yahweh be praised. Listen, I want y'all to understand, I can no longer sing certain songs now that I know the intentions of Yahweh's word. I just can't. When we begin to do the things that we do, if you're not going to comply with his word, if you're not going to be where he says to be, then technically you keep saying that, okay, I'm in the kingdom. It's actually a lie. Kingdom and church are cool, but they different. And at the end of the day, you got to know which it is and what it does, and then know how to apply it practically. Understanding what Yahweh is doing may not give you the goose pimples after your first or second time of doing it. Would you bring my water, sir? Thank you. I need bring me a cup as well, please. Thank you. So when you claim something, don't play with it. Don't claim it to sound deep. Don't claim it to reinvent it. Messiah told us very clearly when he came into the earth, he said, I did not come to destroy the instructions of the Torah. I came to show you how to live it. Messiah did not end it. So grateful to you. Thank you. Appreciate it. He did not end it. He showed us how to do it. He showed us how to live it. He showed us how it should look. He didn't kill it. He didn't cause it to expire. He manifested it. So we would have a functioning, successful image, and because he lives, an ensample. Notice he did not give us an example. It's not an example, like an ex job, a ex partner, ex friend, ex business, right? This is an engaged sample. This is an ensample, and it is a successful model. It has never failed. He has never let down. It has never let us down. He is sitting high overseeing it. He is the Lord of glory. He is yet alive. And I can't say certain things no more. So what I told you earlier before I got off on that little bit of a rant was I can no longer sing songs that make no sense to me no more. When you learn from the preceding word, you realize that unto us a child was born. I need about 4 people to help me out. Come off mic in about a couple seconds. Get ready. Put your fingers on the mic because y'all supposed to be home from work, right?
Right. Yes.
Okay, kingdom, because that's kingdom. That's kingdom. I'm talking about those who knew the schedule in advance and budgeted for the schedule and budgeted for your time to present your body. I don't think y'all get that. Those of you who have and could, and if you couldn't, this ain't a guilt trip. There's no condemnation of those who are in Messiah. It's not a guilt trip, but this is going to be very brass tacks teaching on the requirements that we are around here propagating. We do, but then when we don't do them, having had time to prepare to do them, and then come up and talking about, well, God know my heart. He does. You ain't kingdom. Ouch. That's church. We make excuses. I didn't say we can't make errors. I didn't say we don't choose to do what we want to do. If you want something, you're going to do what you want to do. You are a human. You have your own moral compass. You have your own moral, you are your own free moral agent. You choose this day, every day, who you're going to serve. It didn't say you choose this day and you serve them forever. It says each day, each decision, each second, each minute, each hour, each half hour of your day, each 24-hour cycle, each feast day, each Sabbath day, each Sunday, each Wednesday, each Tuesday, you choose that day, that moment, who you're going to serve. That is an issue in perpetuity. You are not once saved, always saved. You have to choose to be saved. You have to choose to comply. You have to choose to worship or not. Every decision you make. So when you come into this and you realize what Yahweh is talking about, that, compliance is what he wants of us, that's when you know you're saved. So I can't sing all these songs when I know for a fact certain things are just not true. Y'all remember this song? Well, when you come into faith and you come into kingdom, you realize that Yahweh gave us a child born. He promised a child will be born. Then he said, a son will be given. So you now know that the son is given Somebody say the son was not born. Say the son was not born.
The son was not born.
Because the son is Adonai. The son is God. Now the child is born because Adonai made the body that needed to be birthed. So my issue was I can't sing this song no more, as much as I used to love it back in the day. Y'all remember that song? If y'all know it, come off a mic and clap your hands. If y'all remember it, don't sing, because then it'll be all crazy on the platform, and I don't want to sound wild and goofy. I'm in Sabbath, so I'm really free to go. I'm free to do all things Elohim, but I want y'all to catch this. I can't sing songs that no longer make sense in Christendom. I just changed one of them today. We have come into this house. Now you know when you sing that, right? And we talk about welcome Ruach HaKodesh, welcome Holy Spirit, right? All of that, I will worship you. We know these songs, so we augment them to do. But this one just keeps coming up in my head, and I can't sing it no more. And I used to love this song because I'm a drummer. And what would happen is on this song, we start drumming and folks start shouting. They would start playing it and singing it. And, if you had a good testimonial leader like we had, and a lady by the name of Pat Davis, this woman was phenomenal when it came to doing devotions. I've learned from the best how to make devotions happen. And when she and my Aunt Maddie would get up there and they would sing these songs, and some others in the choir and the group, and Carol and Barbara Mosley, and they would get up there and do their devotions, and we would sing the song, and Apostle would get on the back and she'd get on the pulpit and they whatever. But we would sing the song. Tell me if y'all remember this song. God is not dead, he's still alive. Oh, God is not dead, he's still alive. Y'all remember that song? Anybody? Just me?
Yes.
Am I too old? I'm telling my age. No young people like, what are you talking about? We don't know. We don't know that song. No. Nobody here remembers that song. Everybody gone? I don't have anybody still here. And see, now I got a problem when you come into kingdom, because you realize God couldn't die.
Exactly.
We just be saying stuff because it's religious, and that's the difference between church and kingdom. And see, then we got really deep because we like to say, well, you got to study like the Bereans study. Well, the Bereans was just as jacked up as the Christians. They had a personal agenda as well. We're like the Bereans. Please make sure you do your homework on the Bereans before you open your mouth and just say stuff because you was riding by on the freeway and saw a sign, the Bereans community. Make sure you stop doing that. We need to stop the drive-bys. If we're going to say we are part of it, then take your butt down there, be in the park, play soccer with them, play football with them, be down in there when they're doing wine and art, go in there when they're having the feasts and celebrations, and then hang out at least park your car more than an hour and act like stay the night in at least a hotel, do a staycation, get a whole weekend or a weekend, stay over there, act like you're really there. Don't just swing through, buy something out the store, and then talk about, oh, I'm in kingdom, or oh, I'm a Berean, or oh, stop with all this drive by on the highway, see a sign, think you can pull over, take a snapshot and a photo op, and then pick a post-it, turn around with the actual billboard or the actual street city sign, and then say, look, I'm here, I'm in the kingdom. No, you ain't in the kingdom. You took a selfie, which is rather selfish, and flesh is enmity against Elohim. I'm sorry. Y'all okay with that? I just got to keep it a bean. Can I keep it? I'm going to drink some water.
I'm loving it.
So let's know what Hakat Matzot is. Hakat Matzot is the element that is part of what we're supposed to be doing, reading and understanding his word. When you come into the kingdom, you come in the kingdom, and you should come into the kingdom through church. Church and our church situations and our teachings, it is a lot to undergo, a lot we didn't know. Me, you, none of us. Again, I'm not coming for anybody who's a leader in the church. I'm not doing that. I'm just telling y'all what we bought. We need to go back and open that package up, pull out every piece of styrofoam that kept it together, find the paper, the popcorn, everything that was keeping it together, and understand what Yahweh packed in that bag called salvation. Understand what is in that bag. Don't just take out the thing that was most important when you bought the sales pitch. Go in and get every item, because the items inside the bag support the plan of salvation. And if you don't know the plan of salvation, and you can't really embrace it other than what they screamed at you and said you're going to be above only and not beneath. There is a reason you're above only and not beneath. There is a procedure to being above only and not beneath. And though you say by his stripes we are healed, you have to know why he has stripes for you to be healed. And if you don't understand why, you'll disrespect the element. If you don't know the why to it, you disrespect the element of it. And quite frankly, the efficacy is lost. You don't get the benefit. That's why people in church every week on the pulpit for the same exact thing. Y'all mind if I keep it a bean with y'all today?
Keep it a bean.
You want to know why? Ask yourselves this question, because I'm going to really break this down today. I'm going to break this down on the preceding word tonight, 7 p.m. We're going to be ending Hag Matzot with the Rosh Kingdom Ministries teaching on the end of Hag Matzot, liberation, the road to liberation. You're in freedom, but the road to liberation. But I want to make sure y'all clear. You ever notice in your church service how every Sunday or every Wednesday or every prayer service, the same people are up in line for prayer for the same exact thing?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I need y'all to talk to me. Y'all supposed to be off. Ain't nobody supposed to be at work. Talk to me. I need fingers on mics.
Yes, sir. Always. Yes, sir. I used to be one.
Always at the altar for the same exact thing every week, because what we did was we put our confidence in the person and we put our confidence in the aura of the church instead of supposedly the author of why we gather. So every Sunday we're going to church and laying on the altar, and then, okay, maybe after about 8 weeks of laying on the altar, they don't come for 3 more weeks, but then they're right back again and the same thing. And marriage is messed up. My bank and money is messed up. My body is broken and healed. And the thing that came back, and the gout that got me, and the sciatica that worked me over again, and all these things. Now there are physicalities that we deal with that require management. But I want y'all to understand something. When you are in the kingdom, you don't keep going down to the altar. You make your request known based on what his word says, and his word is proceeding. You proclaim what his word says. You comply with the instructions that make that request alive. You don't keep going to the altar for the same thing. That's kingdom. Church, you go to the altar for the same thing that justifies the reason for the church. Kingdom, if you're a citizen of the kingdom, you do want to build a place where all of us can come together when Yahweh say he's going to visit. Church. However, we're not in and out of that building all week. We are in that space at home, and then we come to that space when Yahweh says he wants to come and visit us corporately. That's the kingdom. That's the kingdom agenda. You don't believe me? Please read the writ. So when you got people constantly going back and forth to the altar, constantly going back and forth to the altar, crying, moaning and groaning over this, that, and or the other, and it seems like they're never getting healed. It's 20 weeks. They still got the same issue back on the altar again. This is not kingdom propagation. This is church affiliation. And what I mean by that is just a group of people with a good heart, but not good instructions, trying to do a good thing, and thereby end up doing 1, 2, 3, way too much. Did y'all see how that came and y'all just knew just what to say? Because it clicks. The kingdom has a set of instructions that heals anything you got a problem with. The problem is, have we listened to the preceding word? Have we complied with the instructions that are the preceding word? Have we put ourselves both physically and mentally in alignment with Elohim? We talk about being aligned with Elohim, and we such a squiggly, wiggly, pick up sticks looking line. We talking about, we got to be aligned with, to be aligned, to be in alignment with Elohim is to be in alignment with his word. Keep his instructions for your life. It is better for you to obey man, it is better for you to obey Elohim than to obey man. So when someone's constantly coming back for church, pray for me, pastor, pray. I'm like, No, I actually can't pray for you because then you are being absolved, or you are literally becoming someone who is abdicating your responsibility. You have to follow the instructions. I can't abracadabra and spit oil on you or sprinkle water on you and you be healed. Even Messiah didn't do that. He asked the man, do you believe? The man knew exactly what he was talking about. Yes, I do believe, but help my unbelief. Now, that is something we can work with, but he at least knew what to believe. We come into church talking about the man of God got power. You got fire shooting at your hands, and you got people talking about. It was an art, and it happens. There is a transfer. There are transference of spirits, y'all. But understand this: when Yahweh's power is active, it starts with you as the generator. You generate by filling yourself with his fuel. And when his presence is present, and you now know what he looks like, what he feels like, you speak his words, he ignites, and here it is, he enlightens you. Watch this. David says, quicken thou me. Watch, according to your word, not according to the pastor or the priest or the Levite laying hands on me. He said, quicken thou me according to your word. Somebody say the proceeding word.
The proceeding word. The proceeding word.
Why is this important? What are you harping on? Because in Shabbats, like the Moedim that you're in right now, you're in it, y'all. This is kingdom. You're not at work. Your children ain't at school. You got no work and service being done at your home. You are keeping his word. You should be reading it all the day long. If you're in the Torah all day long, you are right now living the kingdom life. That's pretty boring, isn't it? It's like, and we do that every year, all the time. It is technically, if you just looked at it and you did not have any kind of a sound to it where you can be I have not watched TV, y'all, in a week. I keep forgetting how much clearer my thoughts are when I don't have all that noise and different switching ADHD conducive stuff going on in my life. See, the kingdom gives you a simplistic plan and requires you to actually execute it. Simplicity and execution. That's kingdom. It does not do these new and flighty things. It's rooted, it's grounded. We call it sustainable. It sustains you. Watch what the songwriter said. Now I got to sing this song differently. They would sing the song. Okay, another song. Can I give another song? Old song? Can I give another old song? Come on, y'all, talk to me.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. They would sing the song that says, lead me to the rock that's higher than I. Y'all remember that song? Lead me to that rock that is higher than I. Oh, yeah, we in church jamming. That is higher than I. And then somebody break out talking about, oh, Zion, oh, blessed be the rock. Blessed be the rock of my salvation. And did not understand that the rock that you're led to, that's higher than you, the rock that is your salvation, the rock you proclaim Hosanna from, is the word.
Oops, man.
Not the stage at the front of the church, at the pulpit. Not the church, not the steeple. It's the word. That's the rock. Except Yahweh build the house on his instructions, his architectural drawings, his engineering plans, they that build in vain. So you want to be led to that rock to come up out of your situation? If you want the Shekinah glory to bring you up out of the muck and the mire, you need an instruction to get out. And if you're not going to follow the instruction, but instead just wail your hands all wild and crazy, and then just, you know, if you get stuck in the mud, anybody been stuck, your car been stuck in the mud or stuck in some snow, soft snow, can't get traction, some really wet, muddy terrain or marsh, and you drove into, and instead of following the instructions that are practical and gives you sustainability for grip, instead of getting out of your car in the snow, taking the plank, your daddy, before he passed away, told you to keep a plank, a piece of wood, keep a blanket, keep a traction grip, something you could put in the trunk of your car that will just sit there and you can pile stuff on. But when you need it, you take the stuff off and you pull out that plank of wood, you pull out that blanket that's really resistant to water, and then you put it under your tire that's swirling in the actual mess that can't give you traction to get out. So when you are literally doing that, that's an instruction. But if you're in the mess, in the muck, in the mire, you just flailing your hands all wild and crazy, and you don't follow the instructions of the lifesaver, you are going to die. You're going to stay in that mess. The instructions of the lifesaver are to tell you, hey, stop flailing your arms. I know you're anxious, but here, use this. You got it? Okay. I got it. Ah! No, stop. I told you, I'm not going to tell you again. Now, if you want to get out, stop what you're doing and listen. You want to get out of that land, that jam? Here, grab this. Feel that traction? Hold on to it. It's going to take a minute. Don't move fast. Let's work together. Slide up on it again. When you stop, let me know. I'll readjust my grip. All right, cool. You got it. You're holding on. Don't get anxious because your hands are wet. Now you got a grip. Keep the grip. Stay on it. The word's bringing you out. Up the slide you come. Good. All right. I'm holding on to you. Don't you let go because you still have to be a part of your deliverance. I'm just not going to drop down there and pull you out. You got to obey the word to come out. Somebody say, oh my God, I just learned something deep. I got to hold you here and bring you up out. Now you in your car. The wheels in the back are spinning. You can't get traction. Okay, stop the car. You got to wade through the mud now because you're sitting in this mess. Pop the trunk. Remember the box that daddy told you to put in the back, the little board? It's just 2 flat boards. Get those 2 flat boards, right? Put them right in the middle of your tire. I want you to dig down into the dirt. I want you to put it right on top of the dirt, but underneath your tire tread. Your tire is filled with what has you sunk. Your tire is filled with what has you sunk. Put the wood, put that material, put that dry material in your dry trunk in this wet rain from this snow and mud, and put that dry item right under your tire. Do the other one on the backside the same way. Get it in there. Kick it down in there. Hey, stop panicking. No, get your foot off the gas. Let me set this wood down. Let me put this blanket. Let me put this retardant blanket down. Stop. Get off. Turn the car off. Getting on my nerve. Get out the car. Plus, you're adding weight to it. Get out the car. You chose this car, not me. Now, get out the car. You asked me to help you. Take this instruction. Stop thinking because you're anxious. You're not going to lose your car if you listen. Put these 2 underneath of it. All right. Now, gently get back in your vehicle. Good. I'm going to hold these right here. I'm going to get dirty for you. All right. Now, turn the car on. Put it in reverse. Right. Not drive. Put it in reverse so you can get up on the wood. There you go. Good. See how you're balanced? Now, do not push too much gas because if you do, the torque from your tires will push the wood out. Now the wood will be wet. It'll be more difficult to use later. But if you do this right the first time, just reverse nice and slow. Keep your foot on the brake, reverse. Come on. All right. I see your tires are now on this dry wood. Both of them. Okay, good. Now, when I say put it in drive, I want you to turn your front wheels to the other side. Get them out the track you're in. All right. Okay. Ready? Come on back some more. Come on back some more. See, you come out with instructions. You don't come out with your thoughts. You don't come out with what you are, your panic-stricken state. You don't come out doing the thing that got you in. So in Shabbat, in the Moedim, in Hag Matzot, in all these things, you now must learn to follow the instructions to get you out the mud, the muck, the mess, the snow, the deep, the depth, the well you got yourself into. So when you now have an instructor sitting there and saying, the paraclete, they're sitting there saying, all right, back up slow, nice and slow, easy. All right, on the count of three, go to drive and turn your wheel to the left. Ready? Turn your wheel, right, watch this. Turn your wheel to the right. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, easy. Don't just smack on the brakes. Don't just slam on the gas. Drive slow to get traction. Ready? 1, 2, 3, drive to your right. And now you out.
Hallelujah.
Was that helpful to anybody? Did y'all learn anything just then?
That was powerful. That was good. Thank you.
Visual. Thank you.
And we around here panicking and freaking out. So watch this. If you are kingdom, you understand these things. So when Yahweh gave you that book of instructions to tuck in your trunk, remember daddy's trunk application? Daddy told you to put this in the trunk. Because daddy knew how to get out of some jams while you were a baby you wouldn't have known about. So he tells you to take this instruction, put it in your car, leave it there. Leave a flashlight in there. Leave a rope in there. Leave at that time and that day a flare in there. And leave these 2 pieces of wood in there. You need groceries, pile them on top. But don't take these out because you're going to need them at some time. See, that's what Sabbath does. It puts the word in you. You might not need it right now. You've been driving around all these months and weeks and years. Ain't had a tropical storm, ain't had a snow blizzard, ain't had a nor'easter, ain't had no reason to be trapped in the woods or nothing. But you got a store up. When you come into Shabbat, when you come into Sabbath, when you come into Moedim, Yahweh is storing your trunk with stuff you're going to need later. But you don't get the need of it because you're like, well, why I got to carry this around? Just put it in your trunk. Just put it in your, and leave it in there stored. When the time comes and you need trouble, I can talk you through it on the phone as long as you got the material there. As long as you got the stuff in the trunk, I told you to keep in the trunk, I will talk you through. So David says, thy word have I hid in my heart. Y'all don't want to talk to me today. That I might not sin against you. Not just talking about it from the sense of sin, but even in the sense of when I need to be pulled out, I still got the word in me that will enlighten me. Watch this. It will quicken me up out of the jam I'm in. Somebody say, I need the word. I need the word. I need that rock.
I need the word. Hallelujah.
Are y'all understanding this today?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So now as we continue to process through with all these wonderful things that Yahweh has for us to know and Yahweh has for us to do, understand you are in the season of Hag Matzot. Now, as you see behind me, we have the board. I did not take it down from last night. You see the Feast of Unleavened Bread. You have the 4 days. You have the 8 days of this feast. Why is this feast so important? Because on the 14th day, Yahweh brought us out of our sin. You can say hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
But on the 15th day, watch this. On the 14th day, Yahweh himself came down, saw the blood, brought you out of Egypt, your bondage. And then on the 15th day, he says, now I want you to do this for the next 7 days. I brought you out of your sin. Now for the next 15th through the 21st, I want you to get the sin out of you. I'm going to say it again. Pesach. Yeah, I don't know what the problem was there. Pesach, the 14th of Nisan, Yahweh brought you out. The 15th through the 21st, Yahweh wants you to get the sin out. Yahweh brought you out of sin. But from the 15th to the 21st, he wants you to get the sin out of you.
Amen. Hallelujah. Amen.
So if you simply comply with the instructions, if you can make it through just eating the simple instruction requires execution. It is through simplicity and execution that you and I are saved. It's no big thing. You ain't got to jump around and hop around, jump around, jump and jump around. You know what I mean? You ain't got to do all that. All you need to do is comply with the instructions. Did y'all understand that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
Now, for those of you who have not done it yet, I want y'all to catch this. Paul wrote a statement in 2 Corinthians chapter 11, and I found it very interesting. And so when we pay attention to what Yahweh has given us instructions for, we find ourselves in a better state of mind. Paul said these words in 2 Corinthians. Should I put up on the board? Y'all want to see it on the screen? If y'all want to see it, Facebook, YouTube, let me know. All right, I'll put it on the screen so y'all can see it. Give me a second. Let me set up a share screen. All right, because y'all being lazy because y'all home. Y'all should have your own Bibles out. You should have had them on when you came out and seen to the program go live. But I guess because Clubhouse changed everything around, got me a little irritated there for a half a second. We Gucci now though. Hallelujah. We saved now. He led me to that rock. I couldn't get where I wanted to be. I was 38 hot too, Jack. What happened to my proceeding word room? Who? What they do? 2 Corinthians chapter 11. Everybody there? 2 Corinthians chapter 11. This is what Paul says. This is going to be deep, though. I'm going to catch this. 2 Corinthians chapter 11. Let's go down to verse number 13. Look. I'm going to start at verse 10. Right. As the truth of Messiah is in me, no man shall stop me of this boasting in the regions of Achaia. Wherefore? Because I love you not? No, Elohim knows. Verse 12 says, but what I do, that I will do, that I may cut off occasion from them which desire occasion, that wherein they glory, so that they might be found even as we. Meaning, I'm teaching kingdom, they're still doing religion. They want me to bow down and back up because their religion been here longer, but I'm here. I'm not going to stop boasting about what I know in this region of Achaia. I don't care how much they come from my neck, come from my throat, come with their smoke, come with them hands. I got all that too. I got a fan for their smoke they bring. I got some water for the fire they bring. And I got these hands if they want to go that route too. Hallelujah. Listen, he goes on to say, but that's Paul being a thug right here. Y'all didn't know that? Paul being a straight thug. Like, look, I don't want no drama, but you bring it, I'm going to end it. Look, he says, but I do what I do, verse 12, that I may cut off the occasion from them which desire occasion. Like, yo, I do what I do because y'all going to come for me. You desire an occasion? Do you really want that? Now, if you desire it, I'm going to give you what you asked for. And then they come and try to build smoke and call cap and antagonize so that they can glory in what they want, so that they can be found. It's funny how people will always attack the teacher in their class to make themselves be hoisted up higher and say that they had the spirit and, you know, they're at the same level of their teacher. He's like, nah, they do that so they can be found as we are. That don't justify you. Verse 13 says, for such are false apostles. They are deceitful workers. Those people are transforming themselves into the apostles of Messiah. And no marvel, don't marvel at this, for even Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. Therefore, it is no great thing if his, Satan's, ministers be also transformed as ministers of righteousness, whose end shall be according to their works. I need y'all to pause for a moment. Come off mic, and I want y'all to say these words. Depart from me, you worker of iniquity. Say that. Are y'all seeing that? Do you think I'm being subjective? Do you think I'm being, y'all see that? Y'all see me? Is that being eisegetical? No, look at what Paul says. Verse number 16. Watch this. Now, I want y'all to say one more thing. Get your fingers on your mics. Get your fingers on your mics. I want y'all to say simplicity and execution. Say it. Simplicity and execution.
Purity and execution.
Look at what he says here, even now. I so love what he did with this. This is amazing to me. Amazing to me. Amazing to me. He says, and I need to go back up because I want to give it where it needs to be so we can catch it the right way. He says in verse, where did I stop? 16. Watch this. He says in 14, marvel not that Satan himself transformed to the angel of light. Therefore, no great thing for his ministers to transfer, and their works will be rewarded in the end according to their works. Verse 16, I say again, let no man think me a fool. If otherwise, yet as a fool, receive of me, that I may boast myself a little bit. That which I speak it not after Adonai, but as it were foolishly, in this confidence of boasting, seeing that many glory after the flesh, I'll glory also. For you suffer fools gladly, seeing yourselves and thinking yourselves to be so wise. For you suffer if a man bring you into bondage, if a man devour you, if a man take you, if a man exalt himself, if a man smite you on the face. I speak as concerning the reproach, as though we had been weak, howbeit whenever soever any of us deems ourselves to be bold. I'm speaking foolishly, y'all, right? I am bold also. Are they Hebrews? So am I. Are they Israelis? So am I. Are they the seed of Abraham? So am I. Are they ministers of Messiah? I'm speaking as a fool, y'all. I am no more. In labors more abundant, in stripes above measure, in prison more frequent, in deaths often. Of Jews 5 times received I 40 stripes, save one. Paul was beaten 5 times. 3 times I was beaten with rods. Once I was stoned. 3 other times I was shipwrecked. A night and a day out in the deep. In journeys, often I was in perils of waters. I was in perils of robbers. I was in perils of my own countrymen. I was in perils of heathens. I was in perils in the cities, in the wilderness, in the sea, even among false brothers. In weariness and in painfulness and in watchings often, in hunger and thirst and fastings often, in cold and in nakedness, I was weary. Beside those things that are without, that which cometh upon me daily, the care of all the churches. Who is weak? And I am not weak. Who is offended? And I burn not. If I must needs glory, I will glory of the things which concern my infirmities. Yahweh our Elohim, of Yeshua HaMashiach, which is Baruch forevermore, knows that I lie not. Now, here is the catch. In this chapter, Paul is given this issue in verse number 3. I want to go back up here to verse number 3 now. Okay. I want to give y'all that backdrop. I want to reverse engineer this. Let's read verse 1. Watch this. Would to God, would to Elohim. That's what he says. It says, I would to Elohim that you could bear with me just a little bit in my, I'm gonna make a rant right here in my folly. And indeed, I really want you to bear with me while I break this down to you. Because he's talking to Corinthians, a bunch of intellectual people who have the most difficult conversion into the faith of Messiah is any church Paul's ever dealt with. The Corinthians are a hard-headed, stiff-necked people, and y'all know what? Modern-day church represents Corinth the best. He says, listen, I am jealous over you with a godly jealousy, for I have espoused you to one husband. I sent you to Messiah, that I may present you as a chaste virgin unto Messiah. But I fear, lest by any means, as the serpent beguiled Eve through his subtlety, so your minds are being corrupted from the simplicity that is in Messiah. For if we that come preaching another Yeshua, whom we have not preached, or if we receive another spirit, which we have not received, or another gospel, which we have not accepted, you might well bear with him. For I suppose I was not a whit behind the very chief priests and apostles. That's how smart I am when it comes to this word. But though I may seem to you rude in my speech and not all lofty as the priests and the other ones do, but I'm not rude in my knowledge. But you have been thoroughly made manifest, but we have been, those of us who know this word rightly, we've been thoroughly made manifest among you in all things. You see it, you know what it is, you know who I am, you know I'm not lying. Have I committed an offense in abasing myself that you might be exalted? Is it wrong for me to abase myself, let you step on me and on my back so I can help you get exalted? Because I've preached to you only the gospel of Elohim, and I did it freely. I didn't charge you like the priest did. I literally took from other churches, taking wages from them so that I could come and do service to you. And when I was presently with you and wanted by you, I charged none of you for anything that I did. See, Ephesus and Galatia helped me to come here to come and minister to you because of our godly love for you, Corinth. Corinthians, y'all, is the modern day church, I promise you. Look at what he says. And when I was present with you, everybody wants to be wanted, y'all. He said, look at what he said. He says, when I was present with you and wanted by you, I didn't charge y'all for what I do. For that which was lacking unto me, the brethren which came from Macedonia, they put a brother on. They hooked me up. And in all things that I have need, I kept myself from being a burden to you, and so will I always keep myself. Y'all ain't never gonna have to pay me for nothing, but I'm giving you everything I got, and you still talking smack, still backstabbing, still acting like the priest who came here to bring you and charge you for anything they helped you transition into, and I'm giving you more than they're giving you and for free, and others who know my value are supplying me so I can supply you, and you still got something negative to say? I've kept myself from asking you for a pack of ketchup. And guess what? Because of how you are in your nature, I'll still remain that way. Now, as for the truth of Messiah, which, by the way, is in me, hey, glory. I'm sorry, y'all. I feel Paul. Me and Paul got a lot in common. I said, listen, as for the truth of Messiah that's in me, no man's going to stop me from boasting in these regions of Achaia. Why? Because I don't love you? Elohim knows. Does that read different? Do y'all like the VWJ translation of that? Was that all right with y'all?
That was good, Apostle.
But see, when we do the things, you got to remember what he said was in verse number 3, and this is why I brought y'all here, but you had to read the whole thing to get it in context. He says, y'all so hooked up on people teaching y'all and giving y'all new praise words and new catchwords and making things to repurpose for this and repurpose for that. And they talk, oh, we doing kingdom, we doing all the kingdom things. And this is kingdom. And like I told you, I sat one of the most greatest natural man, monolithic kingdom teachers and making the parallel. But people before he died, in our conversations I had with him, which were brief, but they were real, I was talking about the transition. He was loving this. We were supposed to be doing something else with another great pastor and leader down in Kissimmee at that time. And he was going to come back and he was going to do the kingdom and I was going to do the kingdom spiritually. And that's what we were going to do. I was saving up money to pay for his daggone fuel to come back, right? Because that fuel was like $8,000 to get in there. So at the end of the day, this is what we're talking about. So when people say, well, I read the book on kingdom, you read the book on kingdom. You ain't lived none of it yet. Try it. And then that which you read, there was a sequel coming that you didn't get because he passed on. I know what was coming, but we were already in it when he met me. And I was introduced to him by a very dear friend of mine. Well, I like to call them friends. They may or may not see me as friends, maybe just colleagues, but I believe that we got a great relationship. If at the very minimum in the ministry, and that is my brothers, doctors, Samantha and Michael and Samantha Phillips. And so, those relationships, those moments, those times, those conversations with these great men, people bragging about they read on kingdom. Listen, this is kingdom. Watch. People will come to you and give you all this stuff. They went online, they Googled this, they Bing this. Oh, this is the feast. Oh, you do a Seder here. Oh, you do this. None of that. Paul is telling this group of Corinthians, hard-headed converts who, you really bleed for them to know the truth, but these jokers will just do whatever they want to do and then tell you, well, it don't take all that. And we heard another priest come in here and tell us it don't take all that. And, well, they charged us $8,000 for that. But they did tell us we ain't got to do what you came and did. Did you eat yet? No, I ate before I came here. So you don't want nothing. No, I don't want nothing from you, but I got something to give you. Here, take this and chew on this. But we ain't got to do this because the guy we paid just told us this might not be necessary. See, I know Paul well because I am Paul. I'm watching people all day long. This which I know is inside that Yahweh wants to get out, and Yahweh is called and placed and sent and had people gather to bring. And as soon as somebody new come through with something to say and they're going to charge you for it, Yahweh didn't charge you for salvation because they're charging you for the religious affiliation and association so you could get on their platforms and possibly make money and get a grind and earn whatever you want to do. I ain't fighting no man's grind. But dear heart, the simplicity of Messiah just requires execution.
Right.
And you got people trying to get you to comply with things that Yahweh didn't sanction and set up. And then you still want to look at them and argue with them. First, you didn't even know it until it was introduced. You found this Messiah. You realize, okay, this is a great story. I want to be saved. Apostles from Jerusalem, send us down apostles who can break this down for us so we can live it rightly. And then I've come down here twice. Notice this is the second letter to Corinthians. So when he first got down there, like he told you in chapter 11 of 1 Corinthians 11, he says, listen, I'm glad you guys are keeping the ordinances which I left with you. The second letter, these jokers are now questioning everything he said. Did y'all know this is how the Corinthians worked? Did y'all know this is why you have a first and a second Corinthians? Have y'all read this way this time at ever? No, you have not. So listen closely. What happened was Paul's first letter was the letter that he was following up on because he was establishing things. Certain questions came back. He wrote a letter back to them addressing all the things that he did, complimenting them. Glad you guys are keeping the ordinances. The second letter, he's got to set other stuff in order. They're asking other questions, but they're allowing folk who are saying they are from Jerusalem. They are in the priest. They are the Gadol Kohanim of that region. We're passing through as merchants, and you're telling us you're doing this. That is not what we do. That is not how you're a Jew. He's like, are these Jews? I'm a Jew. Are these Hebrews? I'm a Hebrew. Are these seeds of Abraham? I'm a seed of Abraham too. But what I'm telling you is what I was involved in over there. You Corinthians are here. That Jerusalem that you don't know about, you just saw the temple. You see the temple from the highway. Now you want to be converted. You know the story of Messiah. You asked us to come and set order. We came and set order, but you let some people who you didn't ask for to come, and then you paid them whatever they said they wanted because they just came on their own accord. You didn't even ask for them to come. They came on their own accord and then demanded money of you. You called us to come and we didn't charge you. We gave you what you were initially brought into. And now you think because you paid this guy who came here, saw your tent, saw your manuza, saw your lantern, saw you keeping the feast and told you you're doing it wrong. We're going to charge you to teach you right if you want to do it. And there's a way you got to do it. You going to listen to them. We've come through here time and time again for no charge to you. We didn't even want catch up from you. We just wanted you to get caught up on what Elohim wanted for you as a human in the earth. And we brought it to you for free. And now that I'm gone, I've left, you let some clowns come in here dressed up in all their phylacteries, dressed up in all their highfalutin words. They may have appeared to be a bit more sweet talking than you. You might think I was rude and more direct, think that I was being mean because they decided to gaslight you, gas you up, hype you up. And then when I'm gone, you let that be sweet nothing in your ear. Now you think you understand something because they came with all the gold, all the jewels, all the camels, all the stuff, and they got all this wealth on them. Watch this. And you gave them your wealth. I came with nothing but the shirt on my back and a camel and some other guys, and we had some satchels of food, and we gave you everything we had. But clearly you think that was the better option. Well, you go ahead with that. Are they Hebrews? So am I. Are they priests? Well, I was trained by Gamaliel. Did you know that? No, because you was on the highway looking over Jerusalem. You didn't really go into the temple, but you could see the temple from the highway. And now you think you know it because you drove by it and you saw them and you might have seen them walking around near the praying wall when you were traveling by on your camel. And now that you're back in Corinth, a port city far away from Jerusalem, they coming in, you're like, hey, they were the people that were down at that big temple we saw on the highway while we were passing through. Oh, they must know. Well, maybe Paul didn't know what he was talking about. Maybe those other Jews we call from Jerusalem that coming down here and teach us order and set order for us, those apostles didn't know. Paul says these people make themselves as apostles of Messiah, and they're not. But you believe them more readily than you believe us. And we came down here struggling. We don't want nothing from you, didn't ask for one thing from you. We didn't even ask you for water. These jokers came and gave you crap and you paid them for it gladly. Oh, did y'all see how the message just came full circle?
Yes, sir.
Kingdom and church are different. Kingdom sows into your life and watches you become greater in life. Church wants you to sow into it so it can become great in your community.
Say that again.
That was deep.
There's a difference. And Paul says, listen, the simplicity of Messiah is compliance, execution, end of discussion. I don't have to come back here no more. If you notice, there wasn't another letter to the Corinthians after this. And it ain't just because Paul got, executed. So what are we talking about in this day? Yahweh gave us instructions. If you are going to keep the instructions, then you are going to keep it in faith. You're going to do everything that's necessary. Yahweh got you covered. You got him covered. You're in him, him in you, and you're moving in that vein. But it's the simplicity of his word. And that's all Paul gave him. Do y'all realize what Paul did? Can I give it back to you in 2 Corinthians? Look at what he says. He says, but y'all okay with the VWJ translation? Can I keep it talking to y'all? Can I keep y'all walking with us?
Yes, sir.
Let me read the chapter again. Let's do it the VWJ translation. He says, verse 1, would to Elohim. He's upset with them because they coming for his neck after he was here a little while ago, set them up, wrote back letters, explained to them what they did have questions on, and then still these jokers is still doing foolishness. Watch this, verse 1. So we got to catch, I can't bring you the whole story, but if you read the whole chapter, the whole book of Corinthians, you'll learn it better instead of just reading so you can preach. Watch what he does. Watch what Paul is doing. Paul is venting. Would to God that you would bear me just a little bit in my folly, since you think I'm, see, because technically they're like, well, Paul, you really a fool. these other priests came in here and told us this, that, and they told us what should, and they told us this, and they taught us this, because they the authentic Jews, they the authentic Hebrews, they the priests. The priests came in, the Levites came in here. You ain't got no Levite on your chest. You ain't got no phylactery. You ain't got no robe. I don't see your tallit. I mean, I see your tallit, but I don't see your tallit like they got the tallit. They got the phylacteries. They got all the stuff on. They got to be the real deal. They got to be the real deal. Y'all stop. Listen, we don't live by sight, y'all. We live by faith. Watch. Look at what Paul is saying. Paul says, you know what, guys? Listen, I love y'all so much. I'm going to write this to y'all. Just do me a favor. Just could you bear with me a little while in my folly, in my foolishness? Just bear with me. Verse number 2. For I am jealous over you, but my jealousy is a godly jealousy. I'm not jealous over you so I can get out your pockets, your gold and your anise and your frankincense and your oils and I'm not jealous of losing you like once they now convert you into their version and their outlet of their temple worship. I'm not jealous for you like that. I'm jealous with you because Elohim has charged me, and it's a godly jealousy. Because when I left y'all last, I left y'all in the hands of Messiah, so that when I come back, I might be able to present you as a chaste virgin to Messiah. Verse 3 says, but I fear, it appears like the story in Genesis that the serpent done beguiled Eve through subtlety. And I'm fearing your minds are now, so your mind should be corrupted from the simplicity that is in Messiah. All that simple stuff I left you, it was rude. It might have been crude. It would mean it's uncut, no chaser. We ain't put no perfume on it. We ain't put no sugar with it. We ain't add no salt to it, but we gave you the unadulterated word in its simplicity. And now it appears, based on how y'all talking to me, that the serpent then came in here, these religious heads and figures dressed up in all their garb and their highfalutin words and all their subtlety has now corrupted your minds from the simplicity that is in Messiah. I don't get it, because if I come preaching another, if he that comes preaching another Yeshua, whom we have not preached another Messiah, another Yeshua, or if we received another spirit all of a sudden, which we have not received another spirit, or if we received another gospel and try to push that off on you, which, by the way, we have not received another gospel, then you might bear well with him. I suppose, and I need you to know, since you think that these Levites and these priests that came and checked y'all, I need you to know I was not one whit behind the very chiefest of the apostles. But though I be rude in speech, maybe I ain't say it every way I needed to say it, yet I wasn't rude in my knowledge I shared with you. But we have been thoroughly made manifest among you. You've seen our words in action. You've seen what we shared with you in action. Change your world. You are a completely different people now, Corinth. This is my second letter to you. And y'all keep going over the same dumb, daggone church, religified garbage that keeps corrupting your mind from the simplicities of the facts of the word. Stay kingdom. Stop trying to be churchy. Y'all tell me if this read different for y'all. Y'all, is this reading different to y'all? Does it make sense? Is it making sense?
Makes sense. Makes a whole lot of sense now.
Paul said, listen, do y'all know, since you don't know, my last trip through there, I didn't charge y'all for nothing, never did the first time. But watch, I actually took from a church, not robbed it. It's just a theory. I didn't rob it. They gave to me. So technically, I robbed from them because they saw the value of what I brought. Watch this, y'all. This is what he meant by rob. They saw the benefit that I brought to them, and they blessed me. I took that blessing, which should have fed me up the road further along, and I used that to take a detour to come to y'all when y'all was crying out for help again. So basically, I robbed another church, taking wages that I earned from them to come and do service to you. And when I was present with you and wanted by you, I never charged y'all. None of you. I didn't even ask anybody to let me go home with you, take me to McDonald's, drop me off at the goat cut place, get me some bread, some water. Can I come stay at your house? Can I just borrow a blanket? I charged none of you for nothing. For anything that was lacking to me, some other brothers who knew the value of me and followed me came from Macedonia and hooked me up. They caught me and saw me and was like, yo, Paul, man, we came to find you. Ruach put it in our heart to come and be a blessing to you. Listen, come on, let me get you a hotel over here. We're going to stay with you for a few days and make sure you good. And in all things, I have kept for myself. I kept myself when I was starving. I kept myself when I was thirsty. But because of the charge on my life, I never let y'all know anything so I would not be a burden to you. And you know what? Quite frankly, Yahweh is my provider, so I will always keep myself that way. Does it read different, y'all? Y'all getting this different? Does it read different? Okay. I'm just trying to make sure y'all get it because y'all ain't never had it preached this way. He says, verse 10 says, as the truth of Messiah that's in me. Somebody say the word was in him. The word was in him.
The word was in him.
As the truth of Messiah is in me. Ain't nobody gonna stop me from boasting about this in any of the regions in Achaia. Why? Why for? Because I love you not? Elohim knows. But what I do, that I will do, that I may cut off the occasion of these fools who come to you and you think are so wise and desire occasion to make you guys believe their foolishness, that wherein they, once they convince you, begin to glory. See, I want to cut them off and cut off the occasion from them which desire occasion, that when they can make the occasion, they glory in their occasion so they can appear to you to be like we are. And now you don't need us, or you don't need what we're teaching, or you corrupt the simplicity of the teachings we left you. He said, let me tell y'all what y'all don't know. You're so damn smart. Let me show you what you don't know. Those are false prophets. They are false apostles. They are deceitful workers. They are doing everything they can do to look like us, transforming themselves into the apostles of Messiah, and they're not. But don't you be weirded out by that. I already taught you this before. Even Satan himself transforms into an angel of light. Therefore, it should be no great thing if his ministers, his servants, his imps, his people under his process transform as ministers of righteousness. By the way, they will get their reward in the end. Yahweh gonna say, depart from me because you worked iniquity. Verse 16, I say again, let no man think me to be a fool. I say to y'all, right, please don't think I'm stupid just because I let stuff go on. Just because I let you keep doing the stuff you don't think I see you doing, I know you doing. Please don't think I'm a fool. Please don't think I'm a fool. That's me loving you, hoping you see the life donut, hoping that you see the lifeline I'm sending you. It's going to stay out there in that water until you get yourself and come to your senses. But please don't think I'm a fool. Don't think I don't see what you're doing. My love and my jealousy, godly Elohim jealousy for your soul to be with him, keeps me from doing what my flesh would usually do when I see you doing what you're doing right now. Folk need to be glad when you get kingdom, you saved. Because just because I don't say it, don't mean I don't see it.
That part.
Please look at this verse 16. And that I'm telling y'all what I'm telling y'all what I say what I said. Let no man think me to be a fool. If otherwise, okay. Yet as a fool, then, since that's what you're doing, receive me. And I'll act like a fool. I'll boast about myself a little bit because that's what you want. That which I speak it not right now after Adonai, because that's what I'll be doing. I'll be boasting myself with you, and I won't be speaking about enough. But it were as foolishly I would be speaking, and in this confidence, that's what I'll be boasting of. Seeing that many you entertain, many you let come in and suck you up out of your capital, suck you up out of what Yahweh wants from you, take up your time, got you doing way too much, wearing way too much, talking the wrong words, seeing that many glory after their flesh, then if that's what it's going to take for me to be in your presence to get the truth to you, I'll play that role for a minute. I'll glory also. See, because you suffer fools gladly, and you yet think yourself to be wise. Man, if he ain't break them jokers down and read them like nobody's business, and none of y'all ever had that preached to you that way before, have you? Have you ever read that way?
No, sir.
Nope, not at all.
He says, for you people, y'all, man, look here. Y'all suffer fools. Y'all suffer. Y'all just let fools come in here, wreak havoc all inside of y'all and tell you that that's God. You suffer fools gladly. And it's frustrating to me. It's frustrating to me that when someone is bringing you rude, raw, uncut, pure truth and simplicity, you let somebody else come in, steal that away from you. Matter of fact, not even really steal it away from you. Let you talk and get hype and then take what you said, learn how to use it, manipulate it, sugar it, water it down so they can get the next group of people who may have heard what you heard, so they can say, yeah, we know that too. See, we heard that too, but here's what that really means. Here's what that really look like. And y'all understand there's a difference between kingdom and the church. There's a difference between kingdom and Christendom. There is a difference. And Paul is trying to say, you guys, y'all don't even realize it, but you suffer fools gladly. Verse 19. And by doing so, you think you are wise. For you suffer. You don't even know you're suffering. If a man bring you into bondage, if a man comes and devours you, if a man takes you, if a man exalts himself above you, if a man smites you on your face and you let these people come in and do this to you, I speak as concerning reproach, as though we had been weak. Howbeit, whereinsoever any is bold. Now I'm speaking foolishly here on purpose. I am so bold also. Listen, y'all listen to these fools. Are they Hebrews? Well, I'm a Hebrew too. These ones you're listening to now, they've told you and corrupted the simplicity of Messiah that I left you with. Let me ask you a question. Are they from Israel? Are they Israelites also? So am I. One more question, just to make sure we're clear. Are they the seed of Abraham? That's what they told you, because that's what they got you to stop listening to me about, because they told you we're Hebrews, we're Israelites, we are the seed of Abraham. Well, all those questions, am I not a Hebrew? Am I not Israel? Am I not the seed of Abraham? Are they ministers of Messiah? Now, I'm being funny, speaking facetiously. I'm speaking as a fool. But the truth is, I am more a minister of Messiah than they are, because they crucified Messiah. I met Messiah on the road to Damascus, and then for 3 years was mentored by him in the deserts of Asia Minor before I came and was charged to come and teach you Corinthians what you now know and are throwing away because of some daggone church people. Are they ministers of Messiah like I am? I'm more a minister than they are. They were not asked to come here. They just came here and you flocked to them. You called me here and barely showed the heck up to the services. Verse 23. Are they ministers? Have they served and suffered with Messiah like I have? I have more. In labors, I got a whole lot more churches and stops that I've made. In being beaten and striped, yeah, none of them suffered. They're priests, they're Levites. They ain't getting whipped. Were they in prison? No. They'll instantly be diplomatically removed from prison. Were they ever in fear of their life like I have been to get to you and bring you this gospel? And now I almost give my entire life to get here to you and other ministries, and you gonna let these jokers come in here on their flying magic rugs and give you all this hype because they got gold and silver dripping off of their phylacteries and their robes and their garments, and you will tell them, oh, you are the real Hebrews, and what we have done, my blood is, I'm Israeli, I'm Abraham, and you will. Have they suffered like I've suffered for you? Have they been beaten of their own people 5 times? Oh, no. Not just smacked on the butt. Not just smacked on the wrist. No. The very beating Messiah took once, I've taken 5 times. Are y'all learning anything today?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Amen.
Verse 25 says, 3 times I was beaten with rods. Once I was stoned. 3 times I suffered shipwreck trying to get to y'all, trying to get these other ministries that have called us to come and teach and set order as apostles in your houses. I was in the waters a day and a night. In the waters for 24 hours, I was in the waters because of a shipwreck. In journeys, I was in peril of waters. I've been trying to be robbed. I was peril of my own people I called and put in my pocket, thought we could ride together, rock together, roll together, go to y'all together, go to Galatia together, go to Pontus together, go to all these places together. And these jokers trying to rob me while we sleep. I had to deal with them jokers. See, and have they suffered to come and minister to you the way we have? And you pay these clowns and send them back. I won't even charge you for what I do. I'm in peril of my own countrymen. My own family members want me dead. Then, if that ain't enough, people who don't even know me but just serve other demigods, and because when we coming through, we teach them about the demigods, we mess up their money plan, and now the heathens want us dead. We can't even go into certain cities anymore. We're in perils when we go into certain cities. We're in perils when we go into the wilderness. We're in perils when we go into the sea. I've been in perils because I'm among false brothers. Y'all have no idea what we go through as leaders. Real leaders. I'm not talking about, see, because if I stop, can I say this real quick, y'all? Y'all mind if I say it? I need permission to say this.
Yes, sir.
Please say it, sir. Yes, say it. Please do.
Go ahead.
When y'all hear me talking about, I'm not moved. Listen, me and Paul, you can't read this unless you've lived this. You can't read that passage unless you've lived and are living that passage daily.
Agreed.
I know who's fake. I know who I am trying to help change a mentality that you don't even know you operate in. I know the backdoor things that are being done. Ruach keeps me well informed of every movement that goes on around me. The issue is, for the kingdom's sake, I got to remain a cultivator. Even if I go hungry, even if I got to watch my back while we're resting in the same camp, even if you're trying to pull money out of my back, if you're trying to pull your knife out of my back, even if you're listening to other people tell you this, that, or that, or the other about me, about the past and where I come from. Paul killed Christians. Now he's talking about he with Christians. Y'all so dumb. Listen to that man. He was a murderer. He was an accuser of Messiah and all them. And now you talking about he with y'all. He's not worthy to be listened to. Listen, y'all, I know this right here. I know this right here amongst this very group. And it's not something that I'm accusing the groups of. I'm saying, and when I mean groups, I mean all the different platforms and stuff I'm on. You have to know this. And the only thing that keeps you going is they all need the word. Maybe today will be the day it breaks through for them. And still got to watch these other 18 other things going on. All these different perils. How am I going to get there? How are we going to get the ministry to a place? How are we going to move this open? How are we going to get access for them? How are we going to get this going? And all this and all these negative things. Paul and I have a very, very interesting conversation. I do not desire anything from you. So when these offerings come up, people said, when these offerings come up, it is not that I have a need. It is that it's Yahweh's instruction. And this is how he gets your needs filled.
Amen.
Minister Jackie said something today, and I might have to have you speak about that, Minister Jackie. That thing blessed my soul. I listened to it again on my WhatsApp. I'm going to go back and listen to it one more time. So, Minister Jackie, if you're out there, you may have to share that. All right. Can you hear me?
I can, Apostle. Yahweh be praised.
Good. So verse number 27, I want y'all to catch this. I'm shifting out. We're going to get done here, but I want y'all to catch this. It's going to bless you. So verse 27, he says, in weariness. Some of y'all have no idea what we go through. I'm talking about true leaders, not somebody who put on leadership because they heard you can make a good living at it. Not someone who opened a church because they heard that can be your business. You can make money. Yeah, right. This is a lifestyle. When you're a servant of Elohim, he got you. He got you. And the people you're serving are the most inconsiderate, selfish. The people you're serving are like Corinthians. And people preach from Corinthians so much and have no idea the mentality of the Corinthians. Paul wrote 2 letters to them jokers. Each time, praising one end, condemning the next end, trying to passionately work with them on another end. Why are you letting people come in and undo what we taught you? And at some point, you got to leave people alone like that. And Paul was like, well, here is what it is. You choose this day who you're going to serve. Somebody say, I got to choose every day. Say, I got to choose every day.
I got to choose every day.
Y'all want me to finish reading this, or y'all want to hear Minister Jackie's testimony? Y'all get on my nerve, little greedy. Just greedy is all. You're just greedy. That's all.
We Corinthians.
The devil, rebuke that one. Rebuke that one.
No, sir.
Kidding.
Ben, you're incorrect.
I'm kidding.
We're having fun. So, all right, I'll finish reading this passage. He says, in weariness, he says, listen, verse 27 says, in weariness and in pains, in watchings often, in hunger and in thirst, in fastings often, in cold. Y'all know this man almost died out there in the weather. Y'all know that sometimes when you guys are having your celebrations, and those of us who are true to this calling and you're gathered around your families, we sit in a room in a corner somewhere. And the only time we get a call is when there's a needed prayer.
Right.
And then as soon as the holiday is over, oh, everything is back to normal. It just seems normal. But let me keep reading. That's not a concern for y'all. In weariness and in painfulness, in watching often, fastings often, cold and nakedness. Y'all thought he meant nakedness like he ain't got no clothes? Cold is one thing. He didn't mean naked. He got his talit. He got his tunic. He got his robe. But in nakedness, what Paul's really referencing as well is when people always try to expose him for who he used to be, while he's now teaching people who he now is and what he now teaches. Well, that's not a wow moment for nobody. Okay. Verse.
Oh, yeah.
I was trying to unmute.
Verse 28 says, beside those things that are outwardly, that which comes up on me daily. Remember, Paul says, I got a war that goes on inside of me. Remember, Paul says, oh, wretched man that I am, who shall deliver me from the body of this death? Remember all that stuff Paul would talk about? Paul just fed y'all an entire litany of struggles he gets externally. Then says, besides that, I can't even talk to you about what comes on me daily. The care of all the churches that I got to be answering letters and questions from. Who is weak? I'm not telling this because I want you to feel bad for me. I'm just asking, am I not weak? Well, who was offended? And I burn not? If I must need glory, I'm not like those priests that came in here and subverted your hearing and corrupted the simplicity of Messiah I left you with. If I need glory, I'll actually glory in these things that I just mentioned are my infirmities, because I'm doing it for the kingdom's sake, not to add to my church, because I don't have a church. I'm his kingdom agent. Verse 31 says, and Elohim Yahweh of Yeshua HaMashiach, who is blessed forevermore, knows that I'm not lying to you. But you so wise, you choose. You know what? I was going through Damascus one day, and the governor over there, Aretas, the king, he kept the city of Damascus. He kept the city of the Damascus with a garrison and desired to apprehend me. And through a window in a basket, I was let down the wall and escaped his hands. Miss me with what you've been through. If you ain't been through what I just rattled off the top of my head to you, Corinthians. Now I brought you the truth. I'm going to keep bringing you the truth. And I do it through all of this. But you could care less. Anybody coming in talking about God, you'll just sit there in your wise selves and just listen to and frustrate life out of me, trying to reset you to where you're going to end up coming back to. So I'm at a point now, like Paul, You believe what you want. I'll be here teaching this to those who want to receive it. You choose this day where you're going to serve, who you're going to serve, what you're going to serve, because the kingdom, we set the table. We don't make invitations. We're here. And when Yahweh tells you, or the student in you finally rises up, he will say, hey, come over here. There's 7,000 who have not bowed knee to Baal. And we'll be right here. Watch this. Darash, sought out by you. We're not asking to come into your world. I only want to know Messiah. I only want to know Elohim. I only want to have a relationship with him and hear him say, well done, my good and faithful servant. And anybody whose mentality shifts to that, you'll find this place. You'll find kingdom, pure and true kingdom operation. All right, proceeding where we're going to end that right there. Did y'all learn something from that?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Definitely.
Yes, definitely,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Minister Jackie, won't you share with them what you shared with all of us on my thread that I had? That thing blessed my soul. I was in napkin ministry, laid down on the left somewhere, and wouldn't nobody come and help me. Go ahead.
Shabbat shalom, everybody, and Yahweh be praised. I may not remember it all in its entirety, but basically, I've got to express the spiritual attack that I underwent through this feast season. And I even said to Apostle last year, it was all exciting, but the reality check came, you know, when you actually are honoring the feast and remembering that we're so conditioned within Christ's kingdom to do what man says. And when we do what man says and we don't yield a benefit, then we get resentful. But giving unto Yahweh and being obedient to his instructions, a completely different domain, a completely different increase, because you're honoring him. So the thing about it is, just changing that mindset. I am shaking off that leaven, because that leaven also means that I am seeing things differently and clearly. And I just want to say that I am grateful to Yahweh for this ministry, because I used to think having a form of godliness and denying the power was bad, exercising a gift or some miraculous thing. But the power is the Torah. You see, we can know who Yahweh is, but if you don't know about Torah, and if you don't honor it in your lifestyle, then we are devoid of that power. So I just want to encourage each and every one of us, just don't do as man says, but do as that Torah instructs us to do, because there is a reward and a benefit. Thank you, Apostle, for allowing me to share. I don't even think I've recounted what I said.
Well, that's fine, because you were also talking about the fact that once you realize, don't go off, but once you realize about the element of how he calls you to be able to comply this year. You know what I mean? And how you didn't think you could, didn't think you would, but yet to know. Do you remember that part?
Oh, yes. When I looked at what's on the paper, it just seemed impossible. But yet I was able to fulfill my household costs and still was able to surrender something for each of the feast days. So sometimes we're looking and it doesn't seem a reality, but he makes a way supernaturally. And I just have to be so grateful to Yahweh. And there was something, even last night after Apostle was speaking, I couldn't wait for morning to come so I could hurry up and give the rest of my feast offering, because it was all up on the inside of me. It's really hard to explain or put it into verbiage, but I think you will get it. When you get it, you get it.
Oh, I love that. When you get somebody, take that a quote and make that. I know it's not. I know that might be somebody else's quote, but we're gonna attribute that to Minister Jackie. Somebody make that a quote. When you get it, you get it. Matter of fact, make it kingdom. ... When you get it, ... You get it. I like that. Make that a quote. I want to put that on the meme and IG that out by the time we come out of this feast. When you get kingdom. When you get it, you get it. And I don't mean, again, Kingdom is kingdom. But what Minister Jackie was saying was when she was looking last year, she's like, oh my God, she did the feast and she honored it as best she could. This year she knew to budget better for it, both her time and her offering requirements and what have you. And when you look at it on paper, you're like, ain't no way. You still say it so like, ain't no way. You know what I mean? But then she says she just made it her will to obey what Yahweh said to do. And he has brought you through to that point. That's what I heard you say. Maybe somebody else heard differently. And to know that, and then to say that when you thought it was all over, you woke up this morning and you hurried to get your 21st of Nisan compliance complete. Listen, y'all. Listen. When you bring a kingdom sacrifice, when you bring a Pesach, a seasonal Yahweh, a Moedim sacrifice that he has required, let me tell y'all right now, it is not a church offering.
That's true.
It's not a church offering. You are rendering to Elohim. Listen, when you give a Moedim, it is not giving. When you budget for a Moedim, it is not money. It is not. Yes, it is. It's not even about money. It's about obedience. Watch this. It is about, watch this, seed, time, and harvest. When you give a Moedim sacrifice, it and prescribed offering, it is not a church offering. Well, y'all, we got to keep the budget going. Well, y'all, we need to get this in here. Come on, we're gonna stay right here. We need $15 more. We just need 2 more people to give $10 each, and we should be good at $15. I'm like, 15, and you need 2 people to give 10. Joker, that's 20. What did you? His math off. Why would I even listen? So you'd be like, it is not about a church offering. Nothing about a church offering. It is compliance. And Yahweh says, as long as the earth remains, there will always be seed, time, and harvest. You are in a time to sow. You won't be in another time to sow for 50 days. And when you sow, when Yahweh says to sow, and what Yahweh says to sow, he is responsible for your harvest. When you sow in his time, it is not about money. It's about seed, time, and harvest. Your obedience. Listen, let me tell y'all something too. So y'all leaders out there, leaders and bosses and vice presidents and ops managers and all that. Let me tell y'all something. Can I give you a revelation that parallels? Watch this. If you can't comply with who you say is your boss, that spirit flows down to everybody you're over.
Oh my. Oh wow.
Oh, mom, dad, that incorporates your children. So if you find yourself with a bunch of goats and kids running around your house, they're not sheeps and lambs. That's because of you not obeying your father, and they won't obey theirs.
Oh yeah.
It's quiet. I think I better get out of here. Listen, for those of you who have not gotten in your Hakat Matzot, a 21st offering. The end was that was a major slurp, Minister Walker. When we do the end, I wanted to catch everybody's attention. He's so rude. What he said, yeah. Because I can't get fruit of seed I've not sown. Ooh.
Don't you make me scream.
Oh yes. Oh yeah.
I can't get fruit of seed I've not sown. And see, here's the catch. When Yahweh gives you the instruction, it's the fruit that leads to obedience. If you don't eat the fruit of obedience, follow the instructions, then you don't have the seed of the fruit of obedience. And if you don't sow that seed of obedience, then you're not going to get fruit of obedience out of those you have control over or this authority with. So if you are going to sow disobediently, those who have been put under you will be disobedient and sneaky about it, just like you. Well, I could have gave it, but I had something else going on. Okay, that's fine. That's between you and Elohim. Just know there will be fruit from that seed you sowed. Y'all not gonna talk to me. I don't want to force y'all to talk, but can somebody come off a mic and say there will be fruit for the seed you sown? There will be fruit. Some of us like, oh snap. And that goes for your jobs, that goes for your children, that goes for your sphere of influence and how people deal with you. When you obey Elohim, you'll be surprised how some people can hear you say one thing like, oh, I'm on it. I got it. I get it done. Don't worry about it. And you ain't got to explain it. And they'll go and get it done. See, that's what Yahweh wants us to do so that Yahweh can cause others to do for us. When we do it to him, he causes others to do for us. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, will men give into your bosom. Because you obeyed his instructions to give into his. Our problem is we get caught up in where we give it. The priests weren't perfect. Yahweh said, that's the station I divinely want it planted. That's all you do. Forget how you like, Benjamin, and forget how you like Levi. Forget how you like the preacher and Yochanan. Forget how you like Kepha. They're at the gate of the place. I said, bring it. I take care of that. You get it where I need it. And then I meet where you need me to be. Does that make sense, y'all?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Amen. Yes, sir.
So y'all go now. Get yourselves. I'm going to put it up on the board because we still got a couple of hours for those of us in the Eastern and the Western Hemisphere of the United States of America. London, y'all out yet? Y'all out of Sabbath yet?
Yes, we are.
All right. Listen, if you're in the UK, please still get your seed in, get your lamb in. I'm going to put on the board all the things you need to know what to do to get that done. This is not a game. This is not some church offering. This ain't some praise-a-thon, some spring praise-a-thons, fall praise-a-thon. Listen, this is for you. This ain't for you to keep that ministry on. This ain't for you to keep our ministry live. I'm going to be here whether you do or you don't. We're going to be here. This is what Yahweh wants, because this offering is not about the ministry. It's not about nobody's staying on the air. It ain't about nobody branching out and making new buildings in another area. This is about building you and Yahweh sending entities into your world to build and build around you the thing you are a part of helping to build. When Yahweh has a Moedim offering, it ain't for the church. It's for you. I can't afford to do that. I got to do this. Okay, fine. And you won't be able to afford it next month either, next year either, next 5 years either, because you never gave Yahweh what he wants so he could take care of the bill. And that battle is a bill. And that battle ain't yours. Get it? But you keep listening to the preacher, you keep listening to the priest who comes in with his phylacteries and takes you away from the simplicity of Messiah. It's simple. Give Yahweh what he wants. He takes care of what you need. All that hyperbolia that they, and you got to do this, and God said do this, and you're going to get this, and if you do this, you're going to get 100-fold, and you're going to get all this and get all this, and God going to do. Listen, Yahweh is very simple. Don't come before me empty. In the time I say come before me, present your body And don't come before me empty. And here is when you present your body. And here's what you put in your hands. Go to vwjministries.com. Go right now. Some of you saying, well, I can't afford 330 USD for my lamb. I didn't know. I didn't budget. Here's what you want to do to get yourself in the best possible position. I guarantee you, you'll see a miracle if you make it your business. Yahweh, I get it. I want to be ready for the next feast, but I'm ready for this feast. I didn't know. Give him your best today, right now. And tell him in 30 days, before the 50 days comes, in 30 days, I will have it taken care of, Yahweh. I guarantee you. I guarantee you, you'll be calling back with some testimony of some great miraculous thing that you know you couldn't move the dial on, and Yahweh broke the bank. I promise you. And it ain't always, it's not about money, y'all. Some of y'all need lawyers to understand your vision and present you rightly in the courts and care, and not just care for your money. Some of y'all need physicians to take 35 more extra minutes with your file and your x-rays so they can find out what's wrong, instead of just taking what was put and published in some type of somebody's journal and said, oh, that's what it is, and then just say, well, close the book, that's it. No, you might need that. Yahweh's going to bring you to a place where someone takes more time with you and your children to help you have a better relationship and teach them better. There are things that Yahweh breaks forth for you that are needful to you when you comply with what he's asked you for. It ain't about your money. Seek ye first the kingdom of Elohim, and all these other things will be added to you. Yahweh's plan was simple. Church made us do 1, 2, 3. It's about compliance and obedience. Well, to comply today, you've presented yourself a body. You're not working. Your children are not at school. You are home reading your writ with the people. We're reading with me now. We'll be back at 7 tonight. For those of you still in Shabbat, Vietnam is out, UK, Uganda, Sri Lanka, Mali, all those great people, they're all out. Jamaica, you're still in. West Coast, East Coast, Central, Mountain Standard Time, we're still in. If you haven't gotten your offering in, get your lamb of compliance in. That lamb is 330 USD, whatever that translates for you in your world and your economy. Make that happen. If you don't, if you've been convicted through this teaching just now, just say, all right, well, Yahweh, I'm wrong. I repent. I'm going to do my best. I'm not prepared. I just don't have it, but I'm going to give my best right now. And I'm going to make a vow to you that in 30 days, I will have this taken care of. I dare you trust him. And by the time the 50th day, the next feast comes up, we are now, today is the 12th. It was the 4th, 6 days out. So we are 44 days out from Shavuot. May the 25th at sundown, the second first fruits. If you honor him in this 30 days, I guarantee you, the 2 lambs and the 2 loaves of bread that you will need for first fruits, when it comes then per your income streams, you watch what Yahweh does for you. You watch what your summer life will look like. You watch what you ingather when Sukkah comes. Do y'all see the succession here? You sow small here so he can give you the needful seed so you can have an ingathering in Sukkah. It's simple. We made it complicated. Go to vwjministries.com right now. Hit the contributions button on the webpage, or you can do your Cash App at VWJ3657, or you do Zelle. You know that all. Y'all know of them. Staff will tell me about it later on. But do that. Bring it to the station house. Bring it to the storehouse to get it as a compliance mechanism in Yahweh's sight. That's why he would have the priests wave it to be accepted for you. You can't do it yourself. Can I give a big misnomer to a lot of people?
Yes,
Many of you have been taught that, you know, the song, I can't sing songs no more, y'all. I can't. I just leave it on the altar, right? And, you know, you were taught, you know, make an altar in your home, right? And you were taught to take your sacrifice and you do your altar. Do you know that when Yahweh put the tabernacle in place, the people of Israel, even in the days of Yeshua, they didn't go out and make their own altars. You are now post tabernacle. You bring your offering to the tabernacle. The priests have to take the tabernacle of the offering and they have to lay it on the altar. You don't go into the tabernacle and lay it on the altar. You don't know how to cut it. Yahweh did that on purpose. Oh, well, Abraham put it on the altar, no tabernacle. Moshe, he made a sacrifice, no tabernacle. Seth, no tabernacle. Adam, no tabernacle. Cain and Abel, no tabernacle. Noah, no tabernacle. Once Yahweh brought the Torah, which is coming up, the celebration of that is coming up in 44 days, 25th of May. You want to be here for that one and you want to be compliant. When the tabernacle came, all our gifts to Yahweh, all our sacrifices to Yahweh, including the sin sacrifices, which in fact, Yeshua paid all the sin sacrifices. But watch this. They even took that sacrifice, they even took that lamb and put that lamb in the hands of the priests at the temple before they took him to Herod, before they took him to Pontius Pilate to be put on the cross. Watch the sacrifice of Yeshua, that sacrifice being the Lamb of Elohim, still had to touch the hands of the high priest and the Levites before it could be waved on our behalf.
That's good, Apostle.
Man.
I'm trying to figure out why ain't nobody fell out and cried for the napkin ministry at this juncture.
Nah, that's good.
No napkin ministry in there.
Now, I'm sure everybody will get it in a couple of months when this gets played over and over and over someplace, and then somebody with shiny stuff on and demanding that you sow a seed now out of season, because that was a deep revelation. Even Yeshua had to be taken to the altar and given to the high priest, and y'all will give them thousands upon thousands of dollars, and there will be no return of harvest. I said it out loud, and I stand as an ambassador of the kingdom of Yahweh, who is our Elohim. That seed today is for you this season. And you have no idea what you're going to run into. You have no idea what you're going to need emotionally, maritally, ministerially, financially, relationally, on your jobs, with your companies you're trying to start, with licensing, all these. You have no idea what you're going to run into. Yahweh just says, bring me what I need. I got everything you'll need. You need to reconsider. Just repent. If you were the ones in the ministry who's like, well, I just repent and do your best. And really sincerely come to him, rending your heart, not your garment, and get your lamb in. No, do not take your mortgage. Pay your mortgage. But give Yahweh your best. And then tell him in 30 days, like anything else I want, I will have this done. And say, and I intend to be compliant in Shavuot. You watch what Yahweh do for you. See, because some of us didn't give our full, and yet we keep saying, I'm in the kingdom, I'm in the kingdom. You're in the kingdom when you're compliant with the citizenship. That's global. That's the mandate. Get your seed in. Go to vwjministries.com. You know what to do if you got the Cash Apps or whatever the apps out there is, Venn, Zelmo, whatever y'all got. You know what to do. You know where to be. Make it happen. Give Yahweh his glory. I'm going to be back at 7 o'clock closing out the day of Chag Matzot. I thought to do a 10 o'clock for the West Coast, but they left me hanging on the floor this morning. Nobody came to pick me up. I was in Minister Jackie, got us all slain in the spirit. And first thing the West Coast said was, we ain't supposed to serve nobody today. And I'm like, you know what, West Coast, that's just so wrong. That's what they said, Prophet.
Not what we said.
Oh,
amen.
Oh, I had the wrong glasses on?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Okay. All right. And it's funny. So my moderators, I don't know where y'all at. I need us to stay together and do what we need to do, mods. If we're gonna do it, let's do it. If not, let's kick rocks up the road, but let's do it. If we're gonna do it, if we're not gonna do it, let's do it. But they said to me, ain't no napkin ministry on the Sabbath. I'm like, what? Father, we thank you. Father, we thank you for your word, your will, your plan, your purpose. We're asking you to be with us, in us, and through us today. I ask you right now that you would keep your people. Father, one said, I got a full plate. Yahweh, you know what their plate is. You know how to expand their borders. You know how to enlarge their borders. I pray for KC right now. Take and show her spiritually an exponential change based on the simplicity of following your writ and complying with your instructions. No hype, no gaslighting, just compliance. So, Father, those who are trying to get their best offering for this last day's lamb in, or maybe they're trying to get their first day's lamb in, I pray you now, hear their heart of contrition, hear their heart rent, not their garments, to turn to you, and then let you know we're aspiring to comply with you in Shavuot as well, so that we can comply with you in Sukkah, your Father feast, Yahweh's feast. So let the words of our mouths and meditations of our hearts today have been acceptable in your sight, Yahweh. You are our strength and you are our Redeemer. Your kingdom is not a church event. Your kingdom and its lifestyle is a mandate. Thank you for this roll call. Thank you for this heart check. Thank you for this neck checkup from the neck up. Thank you for the introspection. Thank you for letting us call cap on ourselves. Thank you for sending the word to call cap on our actions, cap on our confessions, cap on our affiliations, cap on our stating that we're apart and we with you. Thank you for calling cap. Thank you for proving what is your word and what is not. Thank you for calling cap on our hypocrisies. We bless your name forevermore. In the name of Yeshua HaMashiach, we say and we pray. Now may Yahweh bless you and keep you. May Yahweh make his face shine on you and be gracious unto you. May Yahweh lift his countenance upon you and grant you all 13 attributes of his shalom. This we pray in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach. We all say, Amen.
Amen.
See you tonight at 7 p.m. See you tonight at 7 p.m.
If you need truth, this is the place for you. Don't need to complicate it. It's best to keep it basic. Open the book, the word itself approved. He's Alpha and Omega, the answer since the early ages. What you should do is learn about the greatest. Just so you know, our door is always open. Let's study together instead of debating. Share our differences. Let love heal all that's broken.